Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. We are off and running. We are 1966. Our opponent is 1959. And let's get rolling. Play knight f6. That's fine. Could be anything we're facing. What will they do? Taking a little bit of time. Thinking about that first or second move. It always baffles me a bit when someone takes that long on the second move. Okay, so they're just probably going into a regular QGD is my guess. Yep. And I play the exchange variation. I've found it to be quite good for me. So we're just hitting the pawn again. We're going here. We're going here. We're going here. Now, of course, this could change based on something wild my opponent plays, but generally speaking, that's what we're doing. That seems fine. I'll go here. They normally go here. So this bishop feels quite out of place now. I could potentially take here and then force their queen here. I don't think they want their queen there. So that's something I'll be thinking about. Especially if they say move the bishop out immediately. I'll definitely be considering just plucking out that knight. Oh, right. I forgot my hair got messed up and I didn't fix it. So that's where we're at. Wow, that is such a weird move. Because if I take, now the bishop's moved again. Huh. Do I take? And then also this falls after this. So yes, we're going to take here. Wait, let's just make sure we're not losing to some tactic. Because I'm very far from castling, actually. But yeah, I feel like takes here. Takes here. Here. Seems really good. Well, I guess it does allow the queen to hit there. But they're losing a middle pawn for this pawn. Seems pretty worth it. So takes queen. Knight takes. I guess I could just take with the queen, right? And then I'm even hitting this. So I don't know. This has to be right. Unless I'm missing something really, really bad here. I believe we're just winning a center pawn. And if I take this way, it's kind of even worse. Because then it's like I'm hitting this. They're probably going there, though. Then maybe I just go here. I don't know. It feels like this. My opponent has played this extremely weird. Whether it's bad, I think so. Oh, I didn't see this. Wow. Okay, so if I take here and they take here, they are in big trouble. So I think I can just take here and win a tempo on this queen. And if they go here, I think I block this way. Then it's like here, here, or maybe here, here, sort of depending. But, you know, we will have to make a real emphasis on getting this bishop into the game and castled. Unless, of course, we can get them to trade off the queen, which seems wildly unlikely. It is going to be an interesting next couple moves. I did have someone on the last video say, you know, it feels like you take pawns too early, right? And that like you're not fully developed and you're trying to grab pawns. And I imagine that person will feel similarly about this. I do kind of like just going here. I would love a queen trade. If they want to take queens off, that sounds great. What about check here? I guess that is just fine. I guess what I'm wondering is, do I need to worry about this or this? If here, like if I go here and they go there, check. I go here and then they go there. It's kind of annoying. It might be better. I really want to get this guy developed. What about here to there? Ooh, another wild idea is like here. Now reigniting this threat. Almost certainly they're going to go there. And I can't go here now. This hangs. So I really do need to be aware that I'm very close to hanging a piece. Like if they go here, I pretty much have to go here. But then when they go here, I can just go here. So the plan is to go here almost no matter what they do if they check. So the question is then, how are we bringing out the bishop? And we really have two choices. And the main reason I want this bishop out is simply to be able to castle. I'm going to come out this way. I think this is going to be a pretty decent diagonal. It's kind of hard for them to fight for it. They'll have to take some time, and if they take the time, then I just castle and I'm up a pawn, and I'm pretty happy with that. Wow, okay. That's kind of surprising. Okay. I don't really get that. I'm just going to get closer to castling. That seems very reasonable. I really thought they were going to check with the bishop or the queen or both. I'm quite surprised that they took this route. Okay. What's really interesting now is I could do something like, I don't know where I want to go, but move this knight and back up this way a second time, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go here and invite the queen trade. If this, I'm just going to castle. And then if this, I can simply move the knight. Wow. I am a little surprised by this. Do I just trade queens here? That seems very reasonable. Trade queens. They put a rook here. I castle. All the entry squares are covered. Let's do it. Let's just solve our single problem, which was pressure. We're up a straight up pawn now. I mean, I don't feel like I have to castle anymore. The king here is kind of well placed, covering these squares to make it much harder to double. The only problem is then this rook is shut out of the game. And I don't see another good way to get that rook into the game. Kind of looking at this, but I think the bishop has too many decent moves. Like even this is probably fine. I think I'm just going to castle as much as I would have liked that. And then I'm just going to compete for the open file. Like if they go here, I go here, they go here. I take, they end up with the open file, I go there. Wow, what? Huh? To go here? And then here? I'm okay with that. Let's just, oh, wait. Okay, there's some interesting things with this. Like here takes, here. I think it's okay, though. We'll compete for the open file. We'll probably do this and this if we're able. Like if they go here, I think the answer is just that. Okay. Some kind of weird moves by my opponent. So is it here, here? I think so. This does a lot, right? No pieces can go there. Like this really now feels like I am just up a pawn. Whereas before it was kind of like I'm up a pawn, but it's a little dangerous. I think I can go here. And then if here, perhaps there. Oh yeah, and then he'd have to trade him. So, and then if here, and then they take. So we're gonna take here first. And then the rook goes there, and now we can't actually do that. So now this bishop is looking quite good, which is kind of annoying. And suddenly my pieces don't look that good. So that one error really is a problem. But I think I'm going to be okay. I think I can just go here, and then I can move this knight. It'll be a discovery. Probably to like, nope, not there. These bishops are quite annoying. I'm going to admit this. They're quite annoying. Okay, so if I go here, then what? I guess I can go here with the knight. Okay. This seems fine. Not ideal, but fine. Then if I go here, pestering this bishop, well, hitting the bishop twice actually. Maybe I go like here even to chase this bishop away. I don't know. I'm a little bit... This definitely feels like a position where the two bishops is quite good. It almost feels like the perfect two bishops position. So if I can even trade my bishop for one, I think I would be pretty happy to do that. I also think maybe the answer for me is just king over to start helping out. Okay. I guess doesn't want to mess around with any of the discovery complications. Makes some sense. I think I'm looking at like here, here, and then this looks like a problem. Maybe they have to end up going over there. Maybe that knight's just fine. It's just my other pieces are having a hard time finding spots. So maybe like this and this is okay. But I think I just want to come over here. At least one more square. Before I do that. What about here? Okay, I guess the one thing about this guy here is it does keep the knight out. But if I go here, the knight will still be kept out. Although this knight is really covering some nice squares. So I think we just want to leave... I kind of think we just want to leave everything alone. And maybe wait for our opponent to do something rash to try to make something happen down upon. In fact, I'm going to go here and just take space. And say, I don't see a good move for my opponent. And if that's the case, then I'm not really in a hurry. Like until I made... Okay, that's interesting. So we trade knights. If the rook goes there, that doesn't really... It's not really any better. And in fact, this will hang at the end. So I think this is very good. I think my opponent did exactly what I was hoping they would do. Which was like, I don't know. I don't have a great move. This looks fine. And then hang a pawn. Or maybe even give up the two bishops. That would be ridiculous, though. So I don't know. I don't know what my opponent's plan was there. Okay, so that's... doesn't really do anything, moving the rook up like that. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just going to take here and say I'm also threatening this pawn. So I think my opponent is in very big trouble now. Now I do not think the two bishops are going to be able to overcome two extra pawns. If I can trade some pieces off now, I will really be in business. So I'll be looking for things like that. But my opponent really, I feel like kind of self-destructed there. Like there was not really a lot of reason to make the moves that they did. I'm looking at this. Does this do anything? Because it allows me this check here. If my bishop was here, that would be something quite strong. It wouldn't be mate, but it'd be good. My knight is pretty strong where it is, so there's not like any desperation to move it. I guess the rook can go here now, which is not the best for me. So like if I go here, rook here, I do have a lot of things in jeopardy. So maybe my opponent is doing better than I was thinking they were. So they're there. Check. King comes out. I can check, but they can go there. Doesn't feel like that does that much for me. Okay. I can't really stop the rook from coming in there. Okay, so if, let's say I go here, rook goes here, I go here. I guess I could go here. No, I'm still covering that. I just don't like this idea, like especially since I guess they could go here. And then it's kind of bad for me. It's not the worst, it's not good. What can I do that would be better? Okay. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. All the moves I want to do, I can't do. What if I just go here? And if they go there, then I could go here, threatening the bishop. The bishop moves, and that's mate. I mean, that's really optimistic. But if I go here, what are they going to do? Oh, yeah. And then if I get this in, I'm really in business. So I go here. I go there. I go here, protecting the pawn also. I like this, actually. This looks like a way I lose a lot of classical games, is by doing these overly... Like, I'm up 2 pawns. Do I really need to do something so elaborate? I don't know. And oftentimes it blows up in my face. So we will see if this is one of those kablooey moments, or if it's like, wow, I'm a genius moment. I don't know. I feel like this could go either way. But I am threatening a very interesting setup mate situation. Okay, so they see that, but then the point was, if they do see it, I get to go here, and this feels very strong. It feels like now they just kind of have nothing. And then if they go here, I'm just going to go here. And once again, they kind of have nothing. So it feels like it worked out pretty well. Now, was it actually good? That's another question, right? I don't know. Okay, I like it. So the best thing they have is just bring the king up. Nice. Where do I want my king? I think I'm gonna go up, actually. Like here, here. Well, this is a hard choice. Maybe even put my king here, even. No, probably doesn't work. Alright, I'm just going to move the king over. This might be wrong, but I feel like I'm up by enough that it kind of doesn't matter what I do here, as long as I don't make errors. I think, like, king up or over, one might be better than the other, but I'm not sure that it is of large significance right now. And if I go here, then it allows me to go here and chase this guy away, who's quite annoying. And then once that happens, then I can go here and chase him away. Okay, I think I would be fine with that still. I'm going to go here. Actually, no. If I go here now, this is kind of a pain. I'm not sure it's amazing, but it's definitely kind of a pain. There. Yeah, then maybe that's still fine. Because the point is I want to cover this square. So so that I can go here, chase him away, and then go here. So we're going to do it. We're going to go there. Next move is going to be here. And if I can make all of their pieces worse or trade them, I'll be happy. Though going here and chasing this guy to say here isn't that great for me. Okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to go here. Offer up this trade. I assume they're going... I'm going to assume here to try to hit this pawn. And then I'm going to go here. And then they're going to have to give up the file. This pawn will actually be hanging. They're going to lose another pawn if they move this bishop away. So they do not. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. Going here. Now this passed pawn is a passed pawn. Maybe it's a bad idea because this was being hit twice. But I think I can go here, right? And they have to give up the file. Like, let's say they go here. Then I could go to, like, there. Okay, I'm going to go here. I think we're just wrapping it up now. I mean, it's going to take a bit. But every piece that comes off the board is just so much closer to my victory. Because now I can go here and get the king out of danger. Oh, I didn't really think about that, though. This. Wow, wait. I don't lose, right? Takes. Barely don't lose. I did not think about that. And when people... Okay, when someone gets a pawn that deep, you really have to. Okay. I think this is fine. We calculated this, right? Okay, that is what I was wondering. Is that good? And I think that might actually be quite good. But I can go here. So I can go here. Then I can go here. No, here. I think I'm okay. Got a little scary for a second there. This is slightly interesting, but I think I go there. And I go there. And I go there. And then we just trade. And again, I'm up 2 pawns. It is a rook endgame. Like, you know, rook endings are drawish by nature. Up 1 pawn is not that much. Up 2 usually is enough. Okay, so here. I think that's okay. I think it works because this king is covering this. So I still have that extra pawn, and then I still have the 4-on-3. Okay. Interesting. Do I go here is the question. Here. I think so. I think that works. So then I just come in here and I'm threatening that. And if he guards it, then we just go here. Now suddenly my king is way more active than his king. My king is like a super piece and his king is not doing anything. Okay, I guess it is an interesting problem that if I go here, and then he goes here, and then I go there, and then he goes here, it's kind of messy. So do I want to go here? I think I do. I think this wins, actually. Oh, I guess he can go there. No, he can't go there. So yeah, we can go here. And then if here, we just get to go there. I might not be able to protect everything. It's, you know, I might have to give up something at some point, but I feel like I don't have to yet. And I would like to make my opponent keep working rather than just doing this trade, which, I don't know. It feels like everything gets weak over here all of a sudden. If I can end up going up 3 pawns, then it's kind of like, okay, what do you have now? Oh, and in fact, I do have this idea. Okay, you can't. Even if he could go here, even if they could go there, I could go here, and then here when they come up to hit that. So my opponent is in huge trouble, and I think we all but have this. I guess I didn't realize that. My opponent had like 12 minutes left going into this move and played 34 moves, right? So there were a couple moves in there where they overlooked a pawn falling twice, and perhaps that is a result of moving fast. Because they kind of played this like a blitz match. We'll kind of go back through there. I'm curious to see how much time they took on those moves where they hung them. But it is always funny when someone's like, I'm going to blitz out the game when it matters. And now that I'm dead, I'm going to really take my time. It's like, okay, I don't begrudge you taking your time. You should take your time, but you probably should have taken the time when it mattered more. Also, this move looks kind of interesting. I will probably go here. Because I realized that they cannot go there. This is hitting it. Though they can do this. They could go, if I go here, they could go here, and then they could go here, here, here. But at that point, I will have already had that pawn. So they're in a really tough spot. They're trying to decide, like, do I go down 3 pawns? I can't really defend that pawn, actually. So I don't know what they're supposed to do here. They're going to take a long time to figure it out, but I'm not sure there's anything to figure out, unfortunately. Not sure that there is. And definitely one of the keys to endgames is activate your king. And they did not do that. Okay, wow. That's an interesting move. I just get the pawn and the rook is in a terrible spot. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll just go here. And then possibly there. After the rook moves. I mean, if the rook stays here to hit that, it's like, great. My king's going here, here, here. Your king is off in La La Land. I can go here at some point and lock the king out. I'm in very good shape. Like, if I go here, here, all of my pawns are protected and this king is locked out. Now, the problem is, if they go here, maybe it gets a little dicey, but I guess I would go, like, takes. Here, I'm up another pawn. And then maybe there I just go here, here, give one of them back, and have these 2 pawns over here. I don't know. I feel like I just have many, many options here, and my opponent really doesn't. Perhaps just bringing the king up. I don't know. Trading off as many pawns as possible. All possibilities. In fact, if my opponent goes here, and I take and they take, I might just go there. And then if they come over, I can go here. And my rook is looking really ugly for the moment, but it might be worth it. Okay, that's kind of surprising. What is the point of that? Is it to go here, perhaps? I think I just go. We're just going. We're just going, 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 and we're gone. And then this pawn also. It's like, what? Okay, how are you supposed to do this? It's actually possible it would have been better to have my king guarding the 4 and then just put the rook behind this. That's certainly possible. Okay. I think I like this. And then I can go this. Like if he goes here, I go here. Okay. I'll go here. Can't check me. It keeps putting his rook in such weird spots. Like at least if they put the rook here, then they have checks, but they keep making it so they can't check. And I think this has to come also, so the rook can't come in behind anymore. Okay. That's fine. I'll just go here. Bring my king up even more. Another. They're making such weird moves. Okay, I'll attack it again. I don't really know what they're doing. It's very interesting because they feel like a talented chess player who really does not know how to play the end game at all. But maybe it's just simply they're in such horrible spot that there is not a good move. Maybe that's just a better way to put it. But they do seem to be playing this very poorly. Like, I guess the way I would put it is they're like giving me the least resistance possible. I'm not saying they could have won this, but they could have been more active with the rook and made me work for it. Whereas it kind of feels like they're just like, here you go. Just put your king and pawn together, and I'll let you do it with tempo even. It's cool. It's fine. Okay. We're back to this. Hit him again. Now what? Now what's the plan here, my friend? Because if they go here, then I just go here, here, and we're right back to where we were, and then the rook comes in behind, makes it very easy to queen out. This is just very over. Because by giving me tempo with all these, it's not giving the king any chance. Not that the king would have been able to get over necessarily, but you know, at least attempting to is something. There's no way the rook can hold off the two pawns, the king and the rook, all by itself. Maybe there's some world where the king's involved, but every move I'm getting tempo. Okay. Again, doesn't really do anything. I wanted to go there anyway, and now we can do this. It will be funny if they go rook d8. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for, right? You put the rook behind the king and check. The problem is I think I can go here now and just go boom, boom. And I don't think there is a way to stop that. I'm going to go here. I'm going to give up this pawn and just say, you take, I push. You can't get behind the king to check. You can't get on the side to check. And I will give my queen, and you can get this pawn. And that is what they do. Okay. What do I want to do here? I can't fork the rook. So is there like a fastest way to do this? I don't know. I'd like to make the rook more active. I think I'm just going to go here. And probably here. I don't know. This is probably not the fastest way to do it. Once I get up this much material, I have a hard time like really trying to do the best chess. Then I'm just like, all right, I won. Let's just finish this off. Doesn't matter anymore. Interesting would be if they go here, it's checkmate. So that would be kind of funny. There's really only one spot. I think that's a good move, which would be here. Because if they go to the back row, yeah, okay, so that's what they should do. And then I'm 3 moves away from mate, maybe. Like rook here, oh, 2 moves, and then queen. But to get the rook here, I have to move the king. But if I move the king here, they are going to go there and check me. So, yeah. I think I will go here. Wait. And they go there. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to go here. And if they go here, check, I'm going to go here. And then they can't check me again. And then if they go here, I think I'm going to go here. And then if they move the rook, I'm going to win that way. And if they trade, well, then I'm up a whole rook, which is plenty of material to win. I'm going to give up my queen, which I probably don't need to. I could probably just run around for a while with the king, but that's going to take a while, and I don't really feel like doing that. I'm totally happy just giving the queen back for their only piece left. They'll probably be very happy with that. But it won't do anything. The only hesitation I have, this is so ridiculous, is I don't like the computer to call my moves blunders. And almost certainly it'll be like, blunder! And I'll be like, no, I planned on that. And it's like, I don't care, it's still a blunder. Okay, instead they just resign. Seems like a good spot. Okay, let's take a look. Very weird game. Okay. So, we had a quite normal beginning. This is weird. Not bad. Let's see what the engine says. I bet the engine will say it's completely fine. Yes, completely fine. It does feel strange. And then this loses the pawn, right? So right now they've basically lost. I'm happy that, like, I have a tendency sometimes, especially in Rapid, to just play my moves. And so it wouldn't have been shocking for me to go here and just say, like, I'm gonna set my pieces up how I want them. It's fine. I'm happy that I was able to quickly spot that this was a tactical mistake by my opponent. And then now we're just, up a lot. I was a little nervous about it. Okay, Peter says it's about the same to take with the queen or the knight. I was a little nervous because I thought after this... No, actually, I didn't think that was good. That's why I went this way. I thought after this, then they were going to have some check stuff, which, made me a little nervous. Like, what if they go here, and then I go here, and then they go here, and then they castle right away, and then maybe there's some sort of complications here that make me a little bit worried. I think I was planning to go here, which would have actually given the pawn back. So that's not that great of an idea. Probably the best move is like here or there. Yeah, this is fine. And then now we should be okay, right? We can go here, castle, and then move the knight. Okay. Well, I was a little nervous that at least they'd have some pressure. And in fact... Okay, I thought the computer said it was even. Peter says I'm doing fine. Okay. Castles, takes. And the computer actually says it's about equal, which to me seems crazy town. At least at the time. But then pretty quickly I was like, oh man, things don't look that great for me. The computer says that if black plays either h6 or bishop b4, they're doing pretty well. This is not the best move. Okay. Computer quite likes black's position here. Okay, and now with this, the computer says now your pawn is being felt for real, and now it's 2 pawns and the game is basically over. And this is what I was looking at. Like, the computer says this is basically equal with white having a slight lead, but I feel like it's very hard for black to find a good move here. Like, what is black even supposed to do? The computer suggesting g6, bishop c5, moves that don't look like they do anything. Maybe this move. None of these moves are moves where you're like, okay, that's a move I'm happy with. This move does something, right? It centralizes your knight. It makes things happen. The only problem is it loses a pawn. So now they're just lost, and it's just a question of, okay, this was the last kind of big moment, right? This move. And the engine says that is a very good move. So I was a little worried that maybe there was some tactic in here that was going to throw everything. So what was I thinking they would do here? It was go here. And then that would be does this work? Oh, so this also works. I didn't consider that. I was going to do this. And that does not work. Oh my goodness. Wait, it looks like it... Oh no, it doesn't work because of this. Right, so I would think I was going to do this, thinking that I could go here and that would be mate. Is not at all mate. They go here, it's covered, and I've lost. So, I don't know if I would have gone down that line. But if for some reason my brain was telling me that worked, this is kind of the last moment of them trying to make something happen. And then these were good moves by me, allowing us to trade everything off. And then I, held everything together. They gave me everything with tempo, made life easy, and we won. So, interesting game. let's check the old computer analysis. Oh, the computer analysis says I played 96%, no mistakes or anything. My opponent played 92%, no mistakes, but a ton of inaccuracies. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good point that I guess my big takeaway is this: in the opening, be aware of mistakes, right? Like when your opponent does something like this, especially if it's weird, take a beat. Don't just play your moves. Don't just play your London moves. Don't just play whatever you're expecting to play. Look at every move and be like, wait, that's weird. Is that a tactic? It is a tactic. I win a pawn. Yeah, and then I think after that, another takeaway is, you know, when you're up a pawn, get safe, trade down, right? Like that's why I traded queens here. The thought is now I'm pretty safe. We're trading down, and then, you know, just trying to trade down from here. So not a lot of takeaways from this game. It was a fun one. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you all next time.